It's this guy's second ever session at Playground. We're back. And this building is now open. We're gonna be checking it out, getting in there. I think they have like 3 floors of rooms. So yeah, excited to show you guys that spot. So let's just get right into it. 3rd floor poker room. Empty as hell. Holy cow. Peter and I get seated at 2 separate tables to start us off, and literally 2 shuffles in, I look down at pocket sevens. Not a really important hand here. I think I raise pre-flop and fold on the flop when there's 2 overcards. But Peter texts me now, literally 5 minutes after sitting down, saying that he had kings over ace-king and doubled up, which is absolutely massive for him, super good for morale, and just love to see that. Moving right into our action. In this episode, I'm going to be adding in a little best play, worst play, play-by-play. So about an hour into our session at 12:30, we look down at Queen 9 of spades, and this is going to be our worst play of the day. Under the gun raises to 10, and I decide to 3-bet to 30. I've just been bored. Definitely not a recommended play, but here we go. We get 2 cold callers and the initial raiser calls as well, so 120 in the middle, and we go to a board of 2-3-4 rainbow. I really don't think many people are going to connect on this board unless they have sets or 5-6 suited exactly. So I feel pretty decent that we can get a bluff through on this flop even though we're multi-way. When the undergun checks to me, I c-bet for 45. That just means continuation bet. I actually meant to make it a little smaller, but this is what I do here. And the cutoff decides to call, but everyone else folds. So heads up to a turn, which comes the 3 of diamonds. He checks, and I think I can get him off like basically everything here. You know, middling pairs. Like I have such a high range advantage here, including like ace-5 suited for the straight. And when he checks to me, I go all in for 125 effective, and he snaps me off with 5-6 of diamonds for a flop straight and an open-ended straight flush draw. I just tell him I'm dead, and he's going to take this one down. So that concludes our worst play of the day. Let's turn this around. Let's look at our best play of the day, where I peel back pocket 10s under the gun. This is actually my second time having pocket 10s, but the first hand was not really important. So under the gun here, I raise to $7, and we get 4 callers to a pretty dreamy flop, which comes Jack 10-3 rainbow. We flop middle set on a board that will hit my opponents with the jack or straight draws very often, especially when there's 4 of them. Nobody 3-bet me pre-flop, so I doubt anyone has jacks. I just say I have the nuts here. The nuts just means the best possible hand at that moment. And I decide to play it super sneaky when it checks to me, and I actually check. And I'm just praying somebody will put in money, praying somebody will bet, and that's what happens. The cutoff player bets 25, and even better when the button player puts in the call. I think a raise is in order here, so that's what I do. Pretty simple. I raise to 70, and the cutoff player basically goes all in right away, just snap shoves. He covers me. I've got a full stack for 250. The button folds, and I snap call. We're just going to run it once. The board runs out, and it gives us a full house. I show him the pocket 10s, and he mucks. That's absolutely gore. Little intermission, little mental health break, walk in the parking lot. Peter went up to 300. He's in for 100. 3x'd and then lost a few pots. He's down at like 150 right now. I lost my first bullet trying to bluff it off, as you guys have already seen. And then doubled up again, huge pot with the 10s. That was sick. So now we're up a little bit. It's like 2 hours into the session. It's like 12:30 in the afternoon. Fuck. Yeah, but we're gonna get back in there in a few minutes and keep it up. It's always good to get those mental health checks in order. Get back into the action here, Dev. What are you doing? Sorry about that. We look down at the awful 7 deuce of diamonds under the gun, and we raise to $6. This is stupid. The 7 deuce game is not on. I'm just doing it so I can show the whole table and be a bum. But we get 2 callers from the small blind and big blind, and we go 3 ways to a flop of 6, 7, 8, 1 diamond. It checks to me, and I'm just going to check. I don't know what I'm doing here. The turn is now a 3, not changing anything. Checks to me again, and now I actually think I have the best hand. So I decide to bet pretty small, just $12. The small blind folds, and the big blind decides to call. The river now brings a deuce, so we have 2 pair with the 7 deuce. Great news for us. He checks, and I now size up a little. I bet 25, and I laugh. I'm like, hey, 7 deuce looks pretty good here, eh? He laughs and he folds, but I show him the 7 deuce. We're not liars here at the table. I don't have the heart, so we'll take down that second one in a row. Thank you very much. This next one's just continue the run good today. I have 8-3 of diamonds in the small blind, all right? It limps to me. I think there's like 3 limpers. I just decide to put in the dollar. Don't really care. And the big blind checks. So we go 4 ways to a flop of Jack 10-7 with 2 diamonds. Gutter and a flush draw. It's pretty good with the 8-3. I check, and the cutoff decides to bet for 20. The button now goes all in for something like 50, like not a lot. And I'm like, all right, I'll call. I call with my flush draw and gutter, and we end up going runner trips. Just runner means one card comes, the second card comes, and you hit both of them. And he shows king 6 of diamonds, so we needed the help. We got it. The run good continues, and look at our stack. What the fuck was that? Anyway, we look down at 6-7 of clubs under the gun. The straddle is on, so I'm really under the gun +1. I'm going to open to $15. It's going to fold around to the button, who raises to 36. I consider all my options here. I think raising is okay, but this player just sat down, and I really don't know much about them. Calling is okay, and folding is obviously more than fine here. I call. I think it's honestly, I don't know if it's the worst option. It's what I did, all right? All right. I call, out of position. Flop comes 7-4-5 rainbow. Top pair, open ender, pretty great in this spot. No backdoor flush draw, which sucks, but we'll have to make do here. I'm going to check, and he continues with a bet of 45. I don't really want to raise and get him off an ace high hand or make him go all in with a high pair, so the only thing I want to do here is call. The turn brings the 2 of hearts, bringing in a backdoor flush draw doesn't really change a whole lot. Other than that, it's a brick. A brick just means it doesn't change anything. So he now bets again for 55. This is pretty small, and for the same reasons as before, I don't think I should go all in because I just think I'm going to get snapped by aces and have to get there. So I just put in the call, and the river is a miraculous 3 of hearts, giving us a straight and bringing in the backdoor flush draw. Still not worried about it. So he bets small again for 45, and he leaves himself about 65 behind. We're going to go all in here. That's what I do, and he hates the spot, but he calls. We show our straights, and we take it down. He mucks. The guy would later tell me he had pocket 10s, so I just did not think it was pocket 10s. I thought it was going to be a little stronger, a little better, whatever. Our stack's getting so big. Seriously, I'm a freak. I gotta figure some stuff out. All right, we've been running hot. It's time to slow it down. The only hand to do that with is the jiggities. We have jiggities in the small blind. There's a straddle on. 3 limpers. Just everyone hates raising. Small stakes. I'm going to raise to 25 out of position, and we get 2 callers. So 75 in the middle. The flop comes ace, ace, 6, 2 spades. I continue on a board like this. I'm just going to have all the strongest aces here, all the strongest hands. And I continue for 25, pretty small, and we get 1 caller. The turn comes the 9 of hearts, not really changing a lot. I decide to check, and now he bets small for 25, and we have a pretty standard call, right? Just for the price we're getting. So that's what I do, and this brings in the 7 of spades on the river, bringing in the front door flush. I check, and he goes all in for 120. This is just a pretty nasty spot. I tank for a little bit, but I don't think I can call. I don't know what I beat when he bets the turn, and I have the jack of spades, making a little less likely that he is a flush, but like that's a lot of the reason why I tanked for so long. Tanking just means thinking. Did not know what to do. I ended up folding, and we never saw what he had, but nice hand to this guy. Let me know what you guys would have done down in the comments here. I think it was one of the weirdest spots that I saw in this vlog. This brings us to our last interesting hand of the night, where I look down at ace queen off in the hijack. The straddle is on again. So when there's one limper, I decide to raise to 20. We get like 4 callers, including Peter, my first hand with Peter in a vlog. So 5 ways to a flop, which is pretty great when it comes queen 8-5 with 2 clubs. We have top, which means top pair, top kicker. Kicker is just the second card. However, being so multi-way, I don't think betting is the best option. I just want to slow play and see what everyone else wants to do. So in checks to me, I check, and the button player now bets 20. Peter calls in the small blind, and there's one other caller before me. I'm not really sure if raising does much good. It's probably the best play, but just I was pretty scared about like 8-5 or some random 2 pairs that somebody could have. So I just put in the call. The turn brings the 7 of diamonds. It doesn't change a whole lot unless somebody had like 6-9 of clubs or 6-4 of clubs. I'm still going to check, however, and see how the others want to do it. The turn now checks around, which is really interesting. I'm thinking we probably have the best hand, like 2 pairs, straights, even flush draws might bet. And the king of spades comes in on the river. I consider this pretty much a brick unless somebody had the king high flush draw. You know, it's not too unlikely. Peter now leads into everyone from the small blind, but really small. It's just 20. I don't think there's anything to do here given the price we're getting except call. I know it was an annoying spot. I told him before I even put it in. I was like, ah, shit, this sucks. I call. Everyone else folds. Peter shows us king, queen off, hitting top 2 on the river. Guy needs to go give his fucking balls a tug after this one. Like, have the courage to bet a little bigger, you bum. Nice hand. I love you. Thus concludes the session. We're double racking out of this place. I have never double racked in my life. Super great feeling. Look at that. Olé. Number 1. Live reaction of us cashing out. Holy cow, what a day. We both feel amazing.
Unreal.
Peter, I believe, was in for 100,
Yep.
out for
380.
380.
Yeah.
Amazing. I was in for 600, out for 960, I believe. We'll get the numbers. We'll get them on your screen.
Right up here.
Like usual. But wow, like holy cow. Punted off my first bullet and then kind of like locked in. Crazy run good. What a fucking fun time that was. The new building, super cool spot. Kind of a weird view. But like, dude, that was super fun. What time is it now? We've been playing since 11:45. It's almost 5. So, 5 hours of play. Wow, guys. No words, really. Super fun stuff.
No words.
Like always, thanks for watching.